Morning, fellow zombies. Are we alive yet? Are we awake yet? Not quite sure there. 8:42 in the morning, West Coast time, Tuesday, the 2nd of September, 2025. She must be a beta still, fuss butching around. And apparently the axis of tyranny, I want to call it that way, had met in China. All the tyranny that you can ever want in the Far East and maybe in the Latin countries came for a summit. Trump wasn't invited. Trump already pissed off a hell of a lot of countries with his damn tariff bullshit. In his mad quest of trying to get more money and more extortions out of people just for satisfying his own damn thing, he's already turned off on our allies and potential allies. So right now, he's just being a pain in the ass. How we're going to be able to deal with it is another story altogether. India is going to be one of those allies for us to be a counterpoint regarding China and North Korea. But apparently, they had other ideas, especially when Trump was going to say, if you don't put me up for the Nobel Peace Prize, I'm going to tariff you. India, in its own way, gave the bird to Trump and started courting the tyranny axis. So whatever kind of pull we had in the Far East, we lost. There have been other countries over there. I don't know how many, but some of those countries that actually had tyranny, they sent in their representatives. Trump's trying to get into this thing because he wants to be a tyrant. He's trying to do stuff to screw the American people. Unfortunately, the court systems are fighting back. There was a ruling made regarding immigrant children going to be sent over to Somalia, but Guatemala, maybe? A district court put a hold on it. So now it's got to go through the system for appeals. There was also another district court ruled against Trump regarding the National Guard treatments. The troopers who get placed over here in LA. Was it necessary? Trump says it was necessary evil. Well, we had LA was out of control, burning up. Well, we had all the records saying otherwise. But Trump insisted to send National Guards and Marines to protect the ICE agents as they were trying to do their raids on innocents. We wanted to get the National Guard back to where they're supposed to be. Even if they were guarding the borders of our country. They don't need to infest and invade the damn cities. Scare the crap out of people. Washington, D.C. is a different story altogether because they have no government representation except for the federal government. So Trump, in its own way, was making sure that at least Washington, D.C. will have his own version of protection over there. At least they haven't done shoot first and period. No questions asked. I'm still expecting him to go that way. I'm still expecting him to turn himself out that way. He wants all the greed, he wants all the money, he wants all the power. If you're going to be a true tyrant at this point, you got to get your hands dirty. If you're going to be a true gangster, you got to get blood. But if he happens to get blood, then he's going to try proving a point that everybody is a threat and a risk and everybody ought to be locked down. He's waiting for the people to be that crazy. He's waiting for a flash mob, and the mob's not playing. They're not going to play that game. We're trying to make it easy for the guy not to be explosive, but with every damn case he comes across, district courts are saying no to Trump. And he's trying to get it pushed back into appeal so he can get over to the Supreme Court and then let them make the ruling. And if the Supreme Court doesn't make the ruling for Trump, but I keep hearing that the courts will do what Trump wants because he's packed them up there. He's paid them off. He's paying them off. So that's what we're dealing with. And what you're hearing for whining is my dog losing her mind about normal. Morning to you too, sunshine. So this is what we're dealing with. Court case for the shooter of Trump. Well, I don't know if they got that one in court or not. There was one, and they got him in court. But regarding the tariffs, they are affecting our pricing. I've already seen it on Amazon. I've already seen it in the grocery stores. Things that we depend upon. Come here. Here. You're going to fuss. You're going to fuss with me. So you're going to be put on camera. Come here. Come here. Trump's going to do any which way he can to prove that he's a tyrant, but I don't see him really pushing it out where he's going to be using the ICE agents to terrorize not just Latino, but even whites and blacks. He's forcing the issue down our throats about real identification on us. I have to get stuff updated. It costs. I have to keep track of my costs to see whether or not if I'm screwing myself over or not. I'm seeing prices of entertainment going up, energy bills going up, and I can't deal with that one. Rent's going to go up, but the income's not rising fast enough. Food prices are going out of control. I have been trying to keep things under control. And I still have to work harder on that one. If I happen to get bulk food, I have to make sure that they're going to be lasting for days. If I get the stuff out of the stores, it's usually between 3 and 5 days. And during that time, that's when I can get things done. You know, get the food, have it last about 3 to 5 days if necessary. Stretch out the money that way. Always doing the balance act in my head. A way to mitigate the tariff situation that us Americans are dealing with. Tariffs are supposed to make us rich. Makes him rich. Makes the gas bag rich. We have every damn politician going on Sunday shows thumping on their chest, trying to prove that Trump knows what he's doing. He doesn't. He doesn't care about himself. That's what he cares about. He cares about gold. He wants gold. Well, he can care about gold. Go ahead. Thinking about the White House in itself, they always have to keep checking with the incoming administration whether or not if they're going to have any changes and then adjust accordingly. Trump's always been gold and silver. He loves golds too much. Kind of reminds me of King Midas. One of these here days, his lust for gold is going to turn him into a statue one of these here days. King Midas was like that in Greek times. had an eye for gold. Always loved the metal. I don't get it with metal. I don't get it with earth metals that we have to go crazy over clear crystals, quartzes, cooked by the pressure of the earth, formed by it, not exactly coming from the cosmos. Maybe some of it had. I don't know. I don't know. Have we actually found gold out there in the stars? There was rumors flying through Facebook with memes saying that one of the asteroids out there had a lot of gold in it. Well, maybe gold's made from the stars, literally, and then we get to have whatever's left in our planet's crust to dig up, or it gets modified. Coal is from the Earth. Gold may be from the stars. Who knows? And diamonds is compressed carbon into hard form of crystalline quartz. And diamonds are useful in industry, but people look at it just because it's pretty. I don't have that much affinity for that kind of rock, or even gold or silver. I don't. But people look at it and say it's shiny. It may be shiny. Let them have it. All I know is the Greek story of King Midas. His own lust for gold turned himself into a damn statue. Eventually, he couldn't even eat, drinks, or do anything without turning everything else into gold. So he joined his own. He joined his own mineral, being part of it, literally. From the stories I've heard and come across, Trump's doing the same damn thing with his gold lust. Eventually, he's going to turn into something even uglier than we ever have seen. And maybe he'll get himself trapped in it so much that he can't get himself out. And by that time, will it be too late for us, or will we call it relief? But meanwhile, we have new political fronts happening that we didn't count on. European front is format's not exactly working very much. And I'm not quite sure if Australia is going to be joining in with the Far East coalition. They're more hooked to the European format than anything else. But the Asian countries out there, a few of them are struggling. The rest of them are just authoritative regimes. So they may join a a faction that we haven't seen before, or we had but hadn't even recognized it because the writers created the stuff, and now we're seeing it happen before our own eyes. I'll tell you one particular series I remembered on this one. Sequest, third season. Chow Dai. And we were talking about the Eurasian format. When the seas rose up, and the sea kingdoms happened, Macaronesia formed. And then you had Far East, or actually Far East, created as well. Had their own empire. Different factions for survival. We're hoping maybe we don't come across to that point yet. But we may be seeing the beginnings of it with the way relations are happening. Solve my stomach a little bit with a little bit of ginger ale. Of course, hot tea would be better, but Getting too friggin' hot. Swear it's got to be the mushrooms that are killing me. But this is what we're going to be dealing with, isn't it? I can't explain it. For me, there's no explanation in any of it. Except we have a power mad elected official who thinks he's God. And he's going to do everything he can to screw over the American people one way or another. And the rest of the world. Just for his lust of gold. Wealth, money, power. Everything tyrants want. Everything that the tyrants will use to screw us over one way or another. I'm getting sick and tired of saying I blame the voters because they already know, but they don't give a shit. How do we deal with it is another question altogether. I don't know how to